What's going on, fam? This is video number 2. Just to give you an intro really quick about what we're doing. I'm basically talking about the experiences that have helped me with how to achieve our ultimate selves, ultimate success. I'm still on the road with this, so you could say it's like a documental kind of series. I'm trying to show you in the way. Obviously, right now I'm at complete peace, but I want to go further and do more. So this is what I've been learning in the past, and also I'm sharing like what I want in the future. And today's episode is a really good one, and something that I've been living in the past month in different situations. It's the ability to absolutely love somebody in their whole entire way, right? Let me elaborate on that a little bit. I know it's hard to, I know it's hard to grasp, or maybe you could say, yeah, of course, but I'm going to go a little deeper. With what I mean with this is basically, we all, when you start out a friendship or you start out whatever, it can be any kind of relationship, right? First, at the beginning, you're your best self, and you do like small talk, and you pull out your best moves. It can be like bar talk, like you're getting somebody, and you just know, hey, what are you? Who are you? What do you do for a living? And automatically, I think it's very human to pull out the best self, right? But then a little bit further scale from that, like if that person had something that you didn't agree on, it's fine. You don't really care if they're in your life or not. It's just how they are, right? Step out the scale a little bit. Then you start seeing some true colors, right? Maybe you hang out with them, maybe you do something with them, maybe you go out with them. And honestly, that's where the point where normally, like, if you continue a friendship or not. And then stepping onto the scale, we're talking more like, friendships and situationships are more like on a friendship from all lifetime level, right? Like school, high school, university, whatever, like it's just a little bit more intense the way you like them. You talk about with them with some deep stuff. They know your stuff, they've been there in different situations, and that's what makes a stronger bond. And then from that, you're talking about relationship, like a romantic relationship, or best friendship, or almost like a brother would be like the fourth scale, of how you meet somebody. And I think what's funny is that at the beginning we start with the full, hey, this is who you are, and that's perfectly okay. And then once you start moving from the friendship, you start seeing, and I think it's in a good way, but you start seeing stuff with that person that you're starting to, I guess it sounds kind of weird, because with the boys you don't fall in love with, but you start grasping more more love for them. Yeah, I could say that. You start grasping more love for them. So in a way, you start to listen to their problems, where they want to go, and maybe they're not starting to do anything, or maybe this is the key moment of the video, is you start to expect something from them, right? Which means, like, I don't know, I'll give you an example of myself. Like, maybe, like, it always happens, with like maybe a relationship or a romantic relationship. You go out, you talk, you're like having this great time, you go on a few dates, and then you have like the honeymoon stage for like a month or two, and then you start realizing who that person is, and then you start having these I don't know, I would say like, hey, I think you should do this and study this, and maybe you should go into this job position. I think it would be great for you. And maybe that person in the other side is, yeah, maybe it sounds cool, maybe you're motivating him. It also depends on the personality. I'm a very motivating personality, but that's kind of like what I do in these videos. I just I like to talk and share my ideas and share them back and forth with people. And but I think, like, normally we all come to that conclusion where somebody's having a problem, they're not getting to where they want to be. You create the idea of what they could be, right? If bro, if you only do this, like you could already having your business, and you do this, and maybe you can do ads online, put your shit on Instagram, blah 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 blah. And they're never gonna freaking do it. And since they never freaking do the expectation you have, maybe that friend didn't do, or maybe that girlfriend didn't, chase your dreams and whatever, you start like losing a little bit of respect for them, because the vision that you had for them, they're not doing it. So you're like, this person is not doing what's the best for them. And you start, like, for me, like, I really like becoming my ultimate self. And whenever I see that someone is not getting there, I automatically sadly judge them, like, oh, like, damn, you're not doing whatever it takes to become better, blah 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 blah. But at the same time, coming back to what I said, is if you notice, that way of putting people in those shoes is your vision of them, and you're punishing them, and you're ruining the vision of them just by wanting them to accomplish what you think it's best for them. So at the same time, this comes in hand with, like, I know if someone is having a bad time, maybe some addictions, and maybe like some heavy shit problems, right? You obviously try to help them, but I think I like to reference Jesus Christ, because he's I don't like to, I'm not making this channel of exactly beliefs and positions, because I want to keep it digestible for anybody. But at the same time, Jesus' philosophy was that, right? Just absolutely love somebody, even with their bad stuff and their sins in this case. And that complete, you're like, just how you are, I love you. If you ever want my advice, I'm right here. And if you don't take it, it's completely fine. Obviously, I'm not saying like sacrifice yourself to save that person. I mean, I know Jesus did, but you know what I'm saying? Like if it was your friend and they're maybe doing like drugs or maybe taking bad decisions, like you can only do so much. But they're always going to appreciate when, and it's a better strategy that they know that you're on their side and you're doing it for their best, than to start judging them and getting that vision of why you're not accomplishing if you are meant for more. This is a very difficult subject, I know, but coming to a conclusion is, I think it's very spiritual to practice this, to completely just love somebody how they are. And it's totally fine if what they're doing is not attractive to you or where you're going, because you'll see this in the other episodes. Like, obviously, you want to hang out with people that you're striving to be in a good, healthy way, transcendental. Don't choose people just because they have Lambos, please. At the same time, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that person is not doing something that attracts is not doing something that helps your way, I get it, that's where you gotta set aside. But that person, I think, is always going to appreciate. And I've been having some confrontations of that this past month, and I think it's a really nice ability to have, and I would like to know what you guys think about it. And also, I think it would help in any of your future relationships. Definitely, it's going to help for mine, and just to be able to love somebody in their absolute way. Don't put expectations on them. Don't motivate them, for sure, but at the same time, always just be careful of creating a vision from them that they don't even see themselves. But yeah, guys, this is one more episode. JB to the 80, figuring shit out together, guys. Yeah.